This condo is awesome. I love the potential in this one. The whole feel of this, because it's open, it's 2 stories, it's unique. We're going to go for a very modern and industrial kind of feel. So, fourth floor. So we are going to our newest listing over here in the Stadium Lofts, taking up the elevator up to the 4th floor. Kathy hasn't seen this unit yet.
Yeah, I'm excited.
This is a rare mezzanine unit. I think there's only 6 or 8 of these. There's some 2-bedroom, and then there's a full-on loft like what we're going to see over here. So this one hasn't been worked on yet, and it's going to hit the market in about a month. So we're going to talk about what the options that the homeowner has had. These guys are maintaining the place, and then they scrub down these floors. I don't know, like I would think at least every month or so. So all those HOA dues, they're going into maintaining the property. So these units over here, they face Cattell Avenue, which is just opposite end of the stadium. And then let's go check this out. So this is actually only my second time at this condo. The first time I went through it with a homeowner, and we had a lot of projects to do. You can see we have a script ready because we do that every time that we're shooting video, just so we're not just rambling on. We've got my man Vince over here. He's going to be taking care of the place. But then when we first toured the place, we saw that there was a lot of potential. This actually was a former model home. Nexus, who was the home builder, had this one on as a model and a couple others. And this one was actually kind of a pain in the ass for them to show because they'd have to bring them up to the 4th floor and people would see this one. The unique thing about this one is this is one of only a few units that are 2 stories. So then we'll check out the rest of the property, of course, but then we've got a lot of projects that we've got coming up. It still needs to be seen whether or not we're going to remodel the kitchen or redo the flooring. But the no-brainers are pretty much paint. And then when we get this all ready, we're going to see if it's going to pop the way it needs to. And then we'll revisit if we need to redo the kitchen or take down any wall or anything like that. This condo is awesome. I love the potential in this one because we're supposed to be like in a downtown setting over here, even though we're right across the street from Anaheim Stadium. But then the whole feel of this, because it's open, it's 2 stories, it's unique, we're going to go for a very modern and industrial kind of feel. So if you're thinking about those New York style apartments or even the Las Vegas high rises, that's kind of the vibe that we're going to be looking for over here. Lots of whites, and then we're going to see if all the LED lighting, all the natural light that's coming in here, and see if those decorations are just enough to make this place feel really over the top. One thing that I always really wanted to do in some of these downtown style apartments is do industrial style railing. You've probably seen that where they either have wires going down the middle, or the most expensive is the one where it's just all glass. But after looking at those options, we decided that we're going to just paint this a metallic color and then see how that comes out. We're also going to put some white accents over here. So really, it will make this railing pop. One more thing is, I've sold some of these lofts before, and the most common objection or the most common question that I get is if they could put in partitions. Because even the SoCo over in New York, they do have partitions over there. Harbor Lofts even has partitions. So rather than the homeowner taking the extra expense and paying for a partition either upstairs or even creating a bedroom here downstairs, we're going to do what's called virtual staging, have an artist render what we're looking for. And then one of the options that they would have, and I know it's possible because they do it at Harbor Lofts all the time, is You have a semi-transparent privacy kind of glass where you can't see on the other side, but it allows natural light in. And then when you want the place open and you have people over, you could fold back the panels. One of the things I have to admit that's kind of bugging me is this kitchen isn't up to today's standards. You can see that it's pretty crammed. And then starting in about 2010, somewhere around there, they were making huge kitchens with huge kitchen islands. So one of the ideas that I'm thinking about, if the place really doesn't end up on the level that we want it, that industrial kind of downtown style, that we would do a kitchen island over here. We would have to have this wall blown out, or one of the cheap things that we could do is find some way to, we either replace the countertops here, that white square edge type, and then we just go to Pottery Barn or one of those and you pick up one of those nice kitchen islands for $1,500, or you go on Wayfair or even get it secondhand. This is one of 2 bathrooms, and you can see here, it's pretty much just as it was built in 2006. Very basic, but yet, are we going to remodel this? Because of the return on investment, you might have to spend $10,000, $20,000 unless you have access to your own contractors and materials, of course. But then in this case over here, we're not going to do much here except for paint the walls. And then this light fixture over here, even though it looks pretty good, it's a bit dated. So we're going to switch this out to a nicer LED kind of fixture. And then if you look down at the flooring, this is one of those tile types that have aged actually pretty well. It doesn't look too dated, but then we'll just get the grout cleaned up. And then there's not any reason to really make wholesale changes. But then this is the before video, and then we're going to decide after the paint's done to see if the condo is still going to be able to pop. Now, let's see how everything turned out. The kitchen is where most of the changes happened. Cabinets were updated to a flush, modern style with no knobs. The wall was cut back a few feet to allow more light into the area. Countertops were lowered to be at counter height to accommodate a larger eating space. The living area was painted all white, while the stair railing was painted gloss black. Upgraded window shades were also added. Upstairs, walls were painted white and the carpet was steam cleaned and stretched. In the downstairs bath, an LED light fixture replaced the old one. Then we decided to invite the whole Stadium Lofts over for an exclusive resident preview. We had over 30 guests come through for cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, and the space accommodated everyone well. Overall, the owner was quite pleased with the result, and the new resident was delighted to move in.
If you're like most sellers and will be living in the home during the sale, a goal